What's up, guys? It's Woogle with Woogle's Outdoors, and I'm going to show you guys how to hang a hammock today. Now, by showing you guys this, I'm not telling you the right or wrong way to hang a hammock. I'm simply saying from my personal experience, this is what works for me. Now, what works for you may be a little bit different. That's your opinion, this is my opinion. So, whatever works for you is the way that you need to hang your hammock. But this is some ideas if you're looking for some new ones. Or if you just want to see how someone hangs their hammock. Because if me, personally, I love hammock hanging videos. First, we need to find a tree. 2 trees, to be more specific. So,
I see a lot.
Yeah, there's a few, but what does that mean? That's the cool thing about hammock hanging, is you can get over here if you want. I don't have to worry about where I can place my tent. I don't have to worry about if I'm on a slope right now or if there's a ton of leaves or rocks in the way. As long as I have 2 points that I can hang from, that's all I need. You can hang from rocks, cars, trees, anything you can get this rope around that's secure, you can hang from it. So, since we're up here on this very untreacherous slope with tons of debris laying around, I found 2 trees I'm going to use. This tree directly to the side of my buddy Chris here. And then this other tree back here that is wrapped around. I'm going to use this one right here, I believe. That gives me about a 7 to 8 foot spread. Now, I can go all the way up to 12 to 14 feet. I can go as little as I think about 5 feet. But my hammock's going to be at a very awkward angle at 5 feet, but it can be done. Let's hang from this spot though. Sound good?
Let us hang.
So we're going to talk a little bit about tree straps first. Now, tree straps are the base to your hammock. Generally speaking, I can set my hammock up in about 5 minutes, only because I've got a quick deployment setup. Your tree straps are something that you want to invest a good, quality in. They're not too expensive. You can use ratchet straps for that matter, but you want something that's lightweight, non-stretchable, and will not damage the tree. That's the idea of tree straps, is that they will not damage the tree. If you're just using rope, paracord, that kind of thing, it will cut into the tree and cause damage to that tree. So a tree strap, it's just a ratchet strap basically that's wide. This is wide enough to prevent any kind of damage. You want to always make sure the base that's around the tree is spread out, no clumps or anything like that. We'll get into toggles in just a few minutes, but first, let me go hang up my other ratchet strap over here, or a tree strap. So next we're going to talk about toggles a little bit. Toggles is the part where you actually hang your hammock base from. So tree straps just secure you to the tree, but you need an interconnecting piece to hammock you up, basically. So you need a toggle. I've got just a little piece of aluminum here that I found, and it's actually an extra piece to my backpack for the Kelty Tioga that I don't need, so I just took this. It was just a spare part, and I use it as my toggle. But some people would prefer a bigger toggle. Some people use sticks, and you can do that. I can actually go down here and break off this stick, and I can use this as a toggle if I wanted to. So for the purpose of the video, since this is much bigger, we'll go ahead and show you that. So let me hang this over here out of the way. Or hold that for me there, Mr. Cameraman. So you take your ratchet strap or your tree strap that you're using. You want to place your finger here. This is called a Marlin spike hitch. You wrap it over, so you just go over top of your finger, just like this. Create a loop in it, so you have it there. Come back around, grab your strap, pull it through, and you'll have this self-tightening slip knot that you can put your toggle through. And it doesn't break that toggle, and what you'll do is you'll actually take your hammock and hang not on the toggle, but on the knot itself. If you hang it on the toggle, you will break your toggles, and you'll end up on the floor. So what we do is we just hang it on the actual knot itself, and we'll show you that in just a moment. But you want to try to get these high up on your tree straps. Next I have my hammock itself, and I've got this set up for quick access, like I said. So I have this little carabiner on the end of it that attaches to my hammock itself. And this actually comes with the E&O camo. And then what I've got is some whoopee slings. Now whoopee slings you can make or buy online. Honestly, it's a lot easier just to buy them. They're a very big hassle. So anyways, what I've done is I've got some whoopee slings here that's already attached. You simply take one end of a whoopee sling, attach it to your carabiner. The other end, I'm going to show you how it's attached to the toggle. You just simply slide it over top of the toggle. And this little knot that is behind this here, and I'll get a close-up of that in just a moment, you want to make sure that it goes there. And I just, for extra safety, like to go ahead and pull that through, and it just prevents it from really coming down. If you tighten it up on it, you put your weight on it, it puts the pressure on the knot itself and not on the toggle. So there you go. You can see how it's on the knot, not on the toggle. Done now is I've already got it attached. If you look from the sides where the tree straps are, connecting into the hammock itself, you'll notice that it kind of creates a almost 45-degree angle. Now, they say that 45 degrees is like the perfect angle for you. I found that it's a little bit more, a little bit less. It just really depends on where I'm at and how I feel like hanging that day. On the contrary, I do have a Wolfie Sling ridgeline, and we'll talk more about that in just a moment. But the angle of the hammock really just depends on what you prefer. I kind of wing mine every single time. I've gotten to the point where I don't use those fancy apps or any kind of tools or anything to check it out. I just give it a good estimate, lay down in it. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I tighten up a little bit and loosen up a little bit. It's one of those things that, you know, hanging a hammock is part of the fun. It's the best part about it. And you'll sleep so comfortably in a hammock compared to a tent. You don't have to buy the expensive pads and stuff. So generally hammock setups are a lot more lightweight compared to a tent setup, because you've got poles, you've got all the fabric of the tent, especially the ground fabric. You have to have a ground cloth. Some people use extra tarps for them. Then you have to have your pad, and then you know, of course, sleeping bags, but you have to have that for these as well. But with this, you don't have a sleeping bag, you have a top quilt and under quilt, and we'll cover that in a separate video. What you're looking at here is actually the ridge line, and that is also created with a Wolfie Sling. Oftentimes it's got a different style knot on it. I use mine and connect it with the carabiners, and what you do is you tighten this up. It creates a different angle in your sleeping or your hammock. That way the angle of your actual setup doesn't have to be so precise every single time. It helps increase your setup time. It doesn't really help increase takedown time, but it doesn't really increase that as well. So you can keep your hammock set at that 1 degree. No matter what angle you're hanging from the tree, you're always going to be hanging the same angle in the hammock. So a ridge line, I think, is a option that you have to go with. That's just my opinion, of course. Some people don't use it. You can also do things like hang your headlights and stuff from this up here. That's what I do. And I have my night lights and stuff because I love to read in my hammock. You can also hang organizer bags up there as well. This actually is not what your tarp hangs on. We'll go over the tarp in just a few moments. Oftentimes what I like to do is I do like to have a little bit of a ground cloth underneath me, especially if I'm in a rainy condition. During the summer months when it's real dry and stuff, I don't even worry about it. I usually just hang my shoes off to the side, and I'll show you what to do with your camping gear here in a little while. As for what I'm going to do with my shoes right now, though, yeah, it's early spring, and it's still kind of cold and a little bit wet, but I ain't too worried about it. So sitting in a hammock's a very easy process. You just kind of sit down. I've hung enough to where I know I'm comfortable sitting down pretty quickly. I don't throw it too quick, though. And you always just kind of want to sit down, adjust yourself, make sure you're not going to fall. If you hear any kind of popping, creaking, you know you want to get up and readjust everything. And what I'll do is I'll just kind of get comfortable. I'll center my body, center mass. And then what you'll do is you'll throw your legs in here somewhere. And I'm going to leave my shoes on, I guess. I don't know why I decided to do that, but whatever. And then what you do is you actually lay sideways in a hammock. Contrary to popular belief with the bridge hammocks and stuff that most people have in their backyards, they lay kind of flat. That's the reason you flip out of those so easily. With these, you don't flip out of them. It's very difficult. Like, I can lean all the way over and I'm still not going to flip out of this hammock. It's just very difficult for me to. So I cross my body at a diagonal angle that reaches down this way. And I throw my legs down there. I throw my head up here. I move the fabric a little bit. I situate myself in. I get pretty comfy. So now I can sleep. Also, if I'm a side sleeper with the double nest, now with the single nest you can't really do this, but with the double nest I've got enough fabric in here to where I can actually get on my side and I can sleep pretty comfortably chilling out on my side in here. And it's pretty comfy for me. That's what I like to do. I've slept fetal position in this thing and everything else, so I'm not very picky when it comes to sleeping in a hammock. It's actually the best sleep I've ever got. I sleep better in one of these things than I do when I'm at the house in my own bed. So the next step is to put a tarp on this thing, or the optional mosquito net. Next thing we have is the E&O mosquito net. Now a lot of hammocks that you buy are like jungle nets. They actually come prepared with mosquito nets on them. I don't like those. It adds weight. I camp a lot during the winter time, and weight's very crucial to me in the winter time because I have to pack extra clothes, I have to pack extra sleeping bags. It's like a lot heavier duty. So I'm very, very careful about what I pack during the winter time. So I just went ahead and bought one of these little extra things here. This is just the E&O mosquito net, and during the summer months, and I'm actually going to go ahead and get this installed on here, and I'll leave this together during the summer months. So this is the first time I'll be using this year because the bugs are starting to get out a little bit since it's getting warmer weather. But all you do basically for this thing is I'll take the end of this here, the opening of course. I'll figure out which sides I'm going to put that on, and I guess this side right here would be the side I'd do it on. What you do is you want to go ahead and slide it through here. You want to use your ridge line above this, however, and that's the only downfall to it is I don't like having my ridge line out exposed. So sometimes you'll have to run an extra ridge line for this thing alone. But you'll just run it through this here and out this fabric here. It runs all the way across. I'll go ahead and set it up and show you that really quickly. I may not leave it on here though. I went ahead and got my E&O mosquito net attached, which is Eagle Nest Outdoors. I have a lot of E&O stuff, mainly because it's very easy to find. It's very good quality camping gear, hammock camping gear. They make really good quality stuff, so that's what I really like, actually. So this is the mosquito net that goes over top of it. Yeah, you have a little bit of extra fabric down here, but what that really does prevent, besides the jungle nest hammocks, the jungle hammocks just have the mosquito net on the top of the hammock. And with some mosquitoes, especially in the swamps, they can bite through that fabric, that hammock fabric. So you want to have as much as possible. This right here will prevent that. So what I'll do is I'll have my door open just a little bit. I'll kind of hop in here. And this does make it a little bit more claustrophobic to sleep in, but if you like sleeping in a tent, a mosquito net will help as well with that. I like the hammock because of the openness of it is what I really like it for. So we'll go ahead and hop in here, get comfortable, and then just zip it up. And now I'm secured up for the night with absolutely no worries of mosquitoes, bugs, insects, or anything like that. It also makes it a little darker, so if I'm in a very very sunny area, this will help out with that as well. But it gives you a little bit of extra protection. It's kind of nice. So, tip is I'm going to use my E&O Housefly. This is my favorite brand of tarp for this. Now you can buy the Cuban fiber stuff, but I'm a little messy and a little bit easier to break things. So what I use is just my stuff sack, which I don't even have to have the stuff sack for this thing anymore, because I actually have some Hennessy snake skins for it. And a snake skin is something that goes over top of your tarp. It allows for super quick deployments. So if I'm out stargazing during the summer months, I can keep this thing put up, but if it starts to rain, I just got to slide it out really quickly. We'll go ahead and put this up. I've also got some stakes here, really ultra lightweight aluminum style stakes. So we're going to go ahead and set this up. I'm going to show you guys how to properly secure the knots for this thing that are ultra easy. Knots are one of the biggest things in hammock camping. You have to learn your ties. If you don't know your ties, it ain't going to work well for you. So let's get over here and how to hang the proper knot for a tarp for your system. This is called a trucker's hitch knot. It's a slip knot. There's many different slip knots. It's what I would prefer for this, but if you'll pay attention to the knot up here, can you see that very well? Mm-hmm. Okay. Just like that, and it's undone, and you can just pull it out. So how you do this is you just take your rope, pull it around the tree, you go under the main guide rope, and then you go over top of it, and it creates this little loop right here that's holding this in place. And if you can see that loop right there, and what you'll do is you'll go back underneath that loop, and you'll pull halfway through it. You don't want to pull your rope all the way through. It's not a slip knot anymore, and you'll have to get that out. But you do this a little closer up to the tree itself, and you have a very good slip knot. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and go up here. I'll do this knot, and we'll get it secured in for you. Just like that. And you can even double secure it by taking the extra piece here and just pulling it through that. And by pulling on that, it should tighten that up for you, the extra piece. That way you can tug on this all day long. That's my body weight right there, and it's not slipping it. But if I wanted to, just one pull on that right there, completely undone.
Just giving you a little look at the, it's called like a porch setup. It's porch mode, whichever you prefer. Just a little different way to hang your tarp above you. Just to give you a little different, few different options for what you can do here.
It's one of my favorite setups for the summertime. If it's raining or anything like that, I can just quick deploy this. But I've actually cut this one a little bit too wide or something like that. It's just I need a little bit more setup. You'll never hang a hammock the same way twice, in my opinion. But that's the beauty of it. You always have a different setup for everything. Now, let's go ahead and tighten this side up. Make it nice and taut. And by taut, I mean tight. T-A-U-T. It's a word I enjoy very much. So.
If you watch his channel enough, you'll notice he's not very good at the English language.
I speak ginger fluently, not English. There we go. And that's one of the porch modes you can activate. Now, if you have hiking poles and stuff, you can make it a little bit taller. Works a little better. But that's what I prefer. Then you get underneath here. You can be in your hammock chilling out. You can have your little stove set up over here somewhere. Move away some leaves. Kind of chill out and get ready, you know. So, we'll worry about that here in a little bit. We'll go over the tarp now. the porch setup, as we previously mentioned, it's used by taking 2 sticks or 2 walking sticks, whatever you prefer. I only use my blowgun as a hiking staff, so I never have 2 of these, so I usually have to find some dead trees or something like that laying around. You just wrap it around it, put it on your stake in the ground, and use the same trucker's hitch knot I taught you as a tarp, just to secure that around. So wrap it around your stake 2 or 3 times, then loop it around, pull it through, and you got a trucker's hitch. You just pull it right out. It comes right out. You're very quick setup. So that's what I prefer to do. So I usually do one side as a porch setup, and I usually find which side the wind's coming in from. So we're up here on top of the mountain. Actually, the wind may be coming in from this side later on, but for right now, it's coming up from the valley, which is kind of weird. So we'll get in on the back over here and show you how that looks. The down part of the back. Now it really just depends how you want to hang it. If you notice you got a lot of creases in it, this is just wrinkled up from how I had it stored. It was poor storage. But if you have a lot of wrinkles in it, it's real loose, anything like that, set it more at a different angle. Try your different angles out and try that out. So far, I'm pretty comfortable with this setup, though. It's not blocking too much wind, and again, my underquilt will prevent, the biggest majority of any kind of convection. But this will prevent the biggest majority of the wind issues. And we can step to the front up here, and I'll show you the doors of this thing and how that works. This is the door on the E&O housefly. All houseflies have these doors on them. That's what I think I got some blood on here from the last hunting trip, I just noticed. But anyways, these doors itself are excellent for the wintertime usage, or even during the summer when it's ultra windy on those nights that you didn't bring your really cold weather underquilt. So what you do for this, instead of doing the porch setup over here like I've got, you would just take and set the doors out, and by staking them out onto your stakes for the sides. You only need about 4 stakes. Some people would use about 6 or 7 though, because some people actually use stakes alone just for the doors. But I found that if I just use the stakes for the side, that it works a lot better. But I only have one door deployed just to show you how that's like. I'm actually going to pull that up in just a minute and roll this one back up. And by putting the doors up, it's very easy. You just roll them up, tighten them up. But it's different for each housefly you use. But that brings us to the biggest issue of hammock camping.
Options.
Good. Convection is the biggest issue with hammock camping. When you're tent camping, it's conduction. You have to worry about that earth sucking the heat out of you. With hammock camping, you're so far off the ground, the earth is not going to conduct heat out of you. So you don't have to worry about that at all. You can put some heat rocks underneath your hammock though and kind of increase the temperatures. It's not going to do a whole lot though. Convection is the idea of when wind comes through, however, and just robs your body of heat. Convection is a terrible thing, and even if it's not windy out here in a hammock, the way they're set up, they're very easily to get cold in. So what you do for that is you have to have an underquilt. An underquilt goes on the bottom of your hammock itself. Then you have a top quilt. It's not a full sleeping bag. There's no zip part for it. It's just like a quilt that goes on top of you. It has a foot box usually. But other than that, it's the same thing. So use an underquilt instead of a sleeping bag. A sleeping bag is just going to compress all that material, and it's not going to work as well for you. So you have to battle convection with hammock camping. However, I've slept in temperatures up to negative 10 degrees, and I've done really well in this thing, in different hammocks that I've used. So, but when you're putting this thing up, I'll show you a quick technique how to actually put your knots and your ropes up and stuff without having them tangled. Because if you have a bunch of free, loose ropes hanging in there, they're going to tangle up just like earphones would in your pocket. So come here and I'll show you how to set that up. It's a figure 8 knot. Figure 8 knot's something I've taught in other videos, but I'll do it just for the purpose of this hammock video. So if you put it up and you just throw them all together, it's just going to wrap them up, right? So what you do is you take your hand, do the Spock fingers. If you can't do that, just do this and just go in between. But do the Spock fingers, and you want to do the figure 8. So you just wrap it around in a figure 8 style until you have a little bit of rope left on the end of it. You can do this with actually all ropes combined at once, and that's what I do a lot. You end up with this, and then what you'll do is the center of it, you just wrap it around a few times, just like so. That way, it prevents it from knotting up on you. And then when you're done, you just kind of continue wrapping it into the hammock itself. Put your doors away, buckle it up, make it nice and taut. And we'll have that down here in just a moment. You can only go of it. There you go. Then your door's up. I'm going to do the same thing for this door in just a moment, but that's it for the tarp. And then, simple as that. Snake skins are something I would suggest to everybody. Snake skins make a wonderful thing, and I'll actually show you putting that up here in a little bit. But other than that, that's it for the hammock setup for the video. I mean, this is my entire hammock setup. I use a mosquito net, use mostly E&O stuff. I think everything I've got to E&O except for my underquilt and top quilt, and that's made by Hammock Gear, and my snake skins are made by Hennessy. But the rest of it, except for my tree straps, all E&O. It's wonderful stuff. go check it out. If you're interested in hammock camping or anything like that and you want to learn more, I would suggest Shug Marie. It's a wonderful channel on YouTube. The guy is hilarious. He's also a ginger guy, and he knows everything there is to know about hammock camping. Also, there's a book called The Ultimate Hang. It talks about a lot of the pros, cons, and stuff like that to hammock camping. So check that out. Let's go ahead and get this stuff together. I'm going to chill out a little while, and we'll put it up later.
Just going to throw this in. Feel free, just any questions that you have or anything about his setup or any of the gear that he uses, or any questions in general, just feel free to leave a comment here. Woogle's always really good about replying to his viewers in a really timely manner.
Try to stay activated.
Just gonna be a quick little demonstration here of
how to put away the tarp. Basically, you just want to detach from your stakes pretty quickly. And it takes just a few seconds to do this. Putting up my hammock is a lot quicker than putting it out. And it only takes me about 5 minutes or so if I'm not recording a video for it, of course. But again, I'll just do the figure 8 knots really quickly. Just kind of roll it up. Sometimes I will take and just throw the knots in, or the ropes in there, and just deal with it the next time. It just depends how lazy I get or what kind of trip I'm on. But all you do, I've already got one side of it put up, as you can see over there. The snake skins are up on that side. And what you'll do is, just as you do the doors, just kind of roll it up, get nice and tight, kind of work with it a little bit. And then what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and toss it over on this side, and then I'll get this side right here and start rolling it up as well. Or I can do it vice versa. Since the camera's on this side, I'll do it this way for you guys. But I take, that's how it unrolled with me. It's okay. And this is one of those situations where we're going to kind of toss this one piece of rope in here, because this is going to be separated from the rest of it. And you can kind of fold them up however you feel see fit. This is just one of the many ways to do it. Once you get it up here, kind of chilling out with it, getting this spot. I don't know, I think I got this one end a little bit too big, but we'll see.
This is where the snake skin comes in handy, though.
Yeah.
Just to
because of the way I did my doors just in there.
Yeah, just to fully wrap up your tarp, though, and keep it fully protected, keep it from getting tears in it, stuff like that. Makes it more compact to carry as well. Definitely a good investment for all you hardcore hikers and or campers out there.
And you'll always have like a little bit of extra fabric at the end there. All you don't have to do with it is just stuff it in there just like a stuffed sack. And that easy, it's put up. Very quick, very easy. Done. And then I just go over here to my slip knot. I give it one good yank, pull it out from behind the tree, and it's done, it's out. Very quick, very simple, very easy method. And then I just take and roll this up just as I would anything else. Very easy to do. Either way, thank you guys for watching this video. This has been Woogle and Chris over here with Woogle's Outdoors. I want you to step around here. Gotta give a big shout out to the guy behind the camera. Wouldn't be possible without all his work that he does for me as well. He helps me out a lot on a lot of my videos on here. So big shout out to this big doofus right here and his man bun. So he got a soft man bun.
It's kind of terrible. It actually completely changed.
I know when I did that. That was my fault. But anyways, go down below, comment on the video if you have any questions, and like the video if you like it. And you can share it on Facebook and all that good stuff if you really want to. And definitely subscribe, because I've got tons of these outdoor videos on this page. Anywhere from hiking, survival tips, tricks, things like that. And lots of goofiness with this dude right here and some of my other buddies on the channel as well.
Everything helps, guys, honestly. Woogle here really appreciates everything that you all do for him, whether it be just watching his videos, subscribing to his channel, anything like that is just great. And we love to hear your all's feedback. Personally, I mean, Woogle's a great friend of mine. He's taught me a lot of things. I'm sure, if you've watched any of his videos, he's at least taught you something. So again, don't forget to like, subscribe, share if you would like to, and also have a great day.